Welcome to a brand new episode of the Oracles. Unfortunately, the superstar Oracle Zima Zibubo is not able to join us right now, but she should be joining in very soon. She'll catch us along the way. But anyway, in our first spring episode this year, we have with us someone very special. She is a writer, a rapper, and a media personality. She's been making music for 13 years, and that is easy to hear in her writing. She has shared the stage with some pretty big names, and we know for sure that she is going to be doing that for a bit of a while until she's a big name herself. Born in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape, this young woman has been blazing trails and kicking down major doors. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, the Oracles are honored to be joined by a superstar in the making. She is a mother and a wife. She's on radio, she's been on TV, and she should be on your playlists. Aaron Mutwaledi's Home Affairs office knows her as Nwabi Sasume, but the streets of hip hop knows her as Static Flow. Static, how are you doing this evening?
I'm great. Yo, what an intro. What an intro. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good,
Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
having me.
No, I'm happy to have you here. We are actually happy to have you here. But I'm very curious to know because I just want to start with this. I normally start with this anyway. Where does the name Static Flow come from? Because generally, we try to put together the between your actual name and your stage name. But in this case, it's very hard to do that. So, where does the name Static Flow come from?
Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie at all.
Yeah.
So the name sounded good. I only figured out in terms of what it actually means and where I fit in only afterwards. You know, you obviously know static being electricity, right?
Yeah.
And we know flow, as in hip hop terms. If someone has a dope flow, then you're going to say that person can flow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just put those two together and I was like, okay, static electricity. And then I was like, I've got the flows. Let's put it together.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it just it was just a name. I really feel like it was God given because I was like static flow and I just stuck to it and I just ran with the name.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And also beautiful to see that Z is here and she just caught us right at the beginning. And I'm glad to
I had to
also,
get away from there, guys. I had to speak English. I had to be like, no,
yeah.
guys, we'll take this up on Monday because like, guys, I can't be working at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad you also got the memo that today is all black. And it's actually the first time
You
I
know?
think that we're all matching colors with our guests. So that is beautiful.
So,
Z, Static Flow Z.
hi, madam.
Nice to
Thank you
meet
so
you,
much for
Z.
joining us,
Hi.
man. Thank you.
All black everything.
Yeah.
Right? The best color, guys.
Yeah. So I'm also curious to know because and this is something also I like to ask our guests. What kind of music did you grow up listening to? Because sometimes I would think that probably some of your music is being influenced by what you listened to as a child. But in some instances, for some people, that is not the case. But what did you listen to growing up at home?
All right. So I think I can explain it like this. I come from a very artistic family, a very artistic background. Utata wam was part of Amadodana Sewisile. He was
Okay.
part of, and he was like literally the leader of Amadodana Sewisile in Gqeberha. So I grew up listening to a lot of gospel music because of my father, a very, church church home. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would definitely say my sister, my older sister, Uzukiswa, played a huge role in who I am and what I listen to because as she grew, she started listening to a lot of rap. She was interested in poetry. She listened to a lot of rap, Jill Scott, Erika Badu, Lauren Hill, Common. So just literally growing up in this Venkwai, okay, I would always hear her listen to this type of music. And I think organically I grew into loving that type of music. But I have to say, I grew up in a very artistic family. My father was the lead singer of Amadodana Sewisile, which was choral music. And then my older sister definitely influenced my, the ear that I have in music, being she listened to a lot of rap and soulful music. And she was a person that literally wrote and sang and rap as well.
Yeah.
So rap, definitely. While I was growing up, it was always there. My next door neighbor always used to play Utupac. I know that when it was time to do chores on a Saturday morning, Umama would
Yeah.
literally say, Sunny Meti, we would, back then we had, what you call this? Washing machine was a machine whereby to save water, it was the double tumble drying machine. So to save water, we'd literally, my mom would say, take a bucket and go get water from the tap and pour it in the washing machine. So everything we used to do it outside. So doing it outside, the next door neighbor always used to play Tupac. That's, it was an everyday thing. Every Saturday morning, it was Tupac banging. So I think rap just surrounded me. So I don't think it was a mistake that I literally tapped into that, genre growing up as well.
And that's very interesting.
So you basically grew up around it.
Yeah, and it's also very interesting because normally growing up, Saturday cleaning music was always the likes of Tamia and Monica.
Yes.
And yet here you are. You are listening to Tupac.
For me, it was Dear Mama. Dear Mama the whole time.
Life goes on the whole time. Would you then say that your sister played a huge role and became an influence in your life, or there's other people that influence you or other things that influence you in making the type of music that you make?
No, definitely.
I'm going to hip hop.
I'm going to bring it home first. Before I say this person inspired me and whatnot, I'm definitely going to say my sister Uzukiswa, because as much as she was 3 years older than me, but she sort of paved the way. She was like that person in Viniba. I want to do music. I literally want to do music, and I'm going to do music, whether my parents approve or not. You get what I'm saying? So she definitely played a huge role. I don't want to, answer something else or maybe, jumble up the question. But however, my sister introduced me into rap in a sense of we had a community center where we grew up. Remember the times about you got served and whatnot, So we had a community center where she had a hip hop crew, a dance crew. So I remember her sort of like passing the torch and saying, I'm too old for this. And she said to me, I think that's it, come to the support center. Let me introduce you to the crew. Go dance, do something, because you're always at home, So that's how it branched out, because I was a hip hop dancer before I was a part of a crew. She first introduced me to that, and then she left to the crew. She focused on other things. There I was there as a dancer, and then that later branched out in me actually being a rapper, because we normally used to dance to instrumentals. I'm not sure you guys are aware of, about J Squad and everything. So that was crumb beats where there was no vocals. So with that being said, that's how I started rapping on those beats. But she definitely highly influenced. Yes, StaticFlo as a rapper.
Yeah,
you are rapping. Like you're rapping those beats, because people don't rap the same anymore. So I feel like if you're rapping from that, like if that's when you started, man, it gives us. It makes me happy because I'm a whole old head, I'm an old head, so I just like hearing all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it kind of sounds like the area that you grew up in was a very artistic area. Is that actually the case where you had a lot of people doing lots of different things?
Yes, definitely. I'd say. I mean, I think also even where I grew up, we were literally trying to find ourselves and trying to find where we fit in. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we were flexible. Hence, I'm saying to you that I started as a dancer, but somehow literally that branched out in me being a rapper. So it was an era where people were just going with the flow. It was all about the flow. We were not restricted. We were not boxed. We just did whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think I was one of those people where I had the opportunity, you know, I was blessed into finding myself and not have someone say, this is what you can do, this is what you're good at. But I literally went through the whole journey. And in the end, I was like, okay, I'm sticking to rap.
Yeah.
So we were flexible, we were versatile, we were literally there going with the flow. You know, it was very organic. It wasn't all about the blow up. It wasn't about, okay, sticking to one thing, but we were literally embedded in the hip hop culture. Obviously, now with all the elements of hip hop is what we tapped into. We had, even in our crew, we had people that branched out in being fashion designers, others DJs. You know, we had, you know, break dancers, we had rappers. So we were literally focused on the hip hop culture and all the elements, and no one could tell us anything regarding that.
Like, you guys had such a strong community center that I feel like it made you realize the talent, like all of you guys. And it's such a great thing to see, because there's not a lot of those in the country, because they're just literally on their phones now. They're just chilling on their phones the whole time. Come back from school is TikTok. Come back from school is YouTube. So it's nice to see that these community centers that we're all trying to get back work so much. And then you do all of that, because you started dancing, then you went to rapping. How did you find yourself in TV?
In TV?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one was a very, it was unplanned. It was definitely unplanned. You know, when you know someone who's a director in the community, someone who's been doing, you know, short stories, who's had their stuff on like your Mzansi Magic, Ubuti Otile that we know about. Okay, if you need anything that has to do with videography and whatever, that is the guy that you go to. So it was definitely a matter of just a call, someone having faith in me and someone saying, I see you doing this. How about we give it a try? I've never done it before. Nerve-wracking as it was, but I enjoyed it. So it was a matter of him saying, I've got a show on Mpumakapa TV, which is formerly known as Bay TV channel. I think it's 260 on DSTV. We tried a music show. I'm already in the music industry. So he was like, you are the person that knows each and every artist in Gqeberha, in Eastern Cape and across South Africa. So let's give it a try. And then it was that. Literally.
It happened.
But is TV something that you want to do again at a bigger scale, or is that something that you're like, no, I'm good?
Look, if there were to be an opportunity right now, tomorrow, look, I will put on whatever and I'm gonna rock it. Because I'm not going to lie. It felt so natural. Like I didn't feel like I was trying. The nerves will always be there, you know, when you start something new or when you do something that you love. Because every time I go on stage, when I perform, the nerves are always there. So the nerves were there. However, I was like, I got this. I felt at home, you know. I won't lie. The experience is great. Given an opportunity again, if I were to get a call today or tonight, but I'll be there.
Quick one. Sorry, I just wanted to find out now the way you're speaking about TV now. If you were to choose, before we even go to radio, if you were to choose to stick to rap or go into TV, like what would you go for at first, literally at first glance, like this is what I'm going for?
TV.
Wow.
TV. And on TV, you can manipulate a lot of things and ensure that this and that will be added. But as long as I'm on TV.
True.
And, you know, I want us to just take it back a little bit because we asked you about your influences and you mentioned your sister. But career-wise, who have you been looking at and say, you know what, if I get to that level, to that person's level, I'd be happy?
Let's see. There's a lot of names that are literally just running in my mind right now. But I think in terms of standard, I would definitely say Missy Elliott stands out for me.
Okay.
Missy has just ticked all the boxes in terms of her, being such an important person within the culture. And it's not just glitz and glam with her, but she was a producer, and a rapper, a singer, and she's done a lot of community work as well. And some people don't even know half of the things that she's done. We just know about, okay, Missy had the dopest music videos, and that is.
Yes.
But just to put it around where I am currently and who I am, I would definitely say Missy Elliott. And then, can I add one more person?
Yeah, you can add 10 if you want.
All right. So another person that literally just sticks out for me right now, currently in SA, as much as this person is not in the, same sphere or not exactly doing what I'm doing, but I respect this businesswoman that I'm going to just mention, DJ Zinhle. So she's one of the people that I also respect in terms of what she's doing in her space. And I would definitely love to see more people in our space, being the hip hop community, doing such, taking all the boxes and telling yourself that I'm unstoppable. I'm not just a DJ, I'm not just a rapper, but everything that I've always wanted to do as a child. Manifestation, do it, So yeah, those are the people that are currently sticking out for me right now. There's more, but let's just stick to those two as women in the arts.
Yeah. You know what I like about your answer right now is how most like rappers, especially locally, they just focus on the rapping, the music side of things. They don't focus on the business side of things. And the two people you've mentioned right now, like, place a huge focus on that as well. Not just the music they're making, but also the business side of things, the community work, being there for the people around them, helping others grow. It's not just about a matter of making music for me and that's it. I don't care about the business. I don't care about A&R. I don't care about PR. Like, they genuinely care about that because they know that it's what makes them as the brand that they are.
Definitely. No, definitely.
So because I know that you're also currently on radio. What do you do actually? What show do you do? And when did your career in radio start, or rather your journey in radio begin?
Okay. So let's take it back. I moved to Joburg, or relocated rather, last year, February. Believe it or not. Last year, February 2022. Yeah, I relocated to Joburg, transferred work and everything, and I told myself it's now or never. Straight from Gqeberha, I came to Joburg. So I would say I've always wanted to, be in the media space, not just be a rapper. You understand what I'm saying? I've always wanted to, be that voice of the voiceless. So I'm just going to quickly go into your question without going around. So in radio, right, I host a show called Women in Hip Hop. It's a show every Saturday from 6 to 9. With Women in Hip Hop, it's not just the name of the show, but it's my movement, or rather a movement by StaticFlo that I established in 2021. Okay. So there's a radio show, Women in Hip Hop. However, I also do events, Women in Hip Hop, and I also do a podcast, Women in Hip Hop. So everything so it has everything to do with just, supporting women that are in the arts, specifically in hip hop. So, Anditi, I've had challenges as well, being a woman that is in hip hop. So I think it's only right for me to have that movement and support a 12-year-old, 16-year-old that wants to be a rapper or wants to be a woman in hip hop, because hip hop is a culture. As taking a rap alone, we are talking about, other elements as well. So if ukona umdana that is 12 years old, is a young, lady who wants to be a rapper, StaticFlo is there for that. So it's sort of like an umbrella, a support structure where where we support women in the arts, women in hip hop, to say the challenges that you are facing right now, I've gone through that as well, and this is how I overcome it. And if however you need any support, you need me to plug you in any way, in any form, I'm there. If you are having issues at home, you are, you're struggling or whatever, there's a lot of teenage pregnancy, there's a lot of people obviously now, there's challenges in life. There's so many challenges, sexual favors in the industry, the things that we have gone through already. So I'm saying if you're there, you're a 12-year-old, you want to get into the space of being a rapper or a DJ within the hip hop space, you can look to StaticFlo. I'll be there. I'll try and do my best, in terms of what I've gone through. I don't want you to go through the same path, being the negatives. You understand what I'm saying? So that is Women in Hip Hop. It's a movement. So I took it to radio. I was like, a podcast might not be enough. Events might not be enough because you perform and you go home, So having workshops in these events is something that I've also introduced, and being on radio, every Saturday and speaking about, everything that has to do with women that are in the hip hop space, giving voice to those that are saying, you know what, I'm not getting the platforms to speak. No one is booking me. I'm not getting, any bookings for events. I'm broke. I have this dream of wanting to be a rapper. Look, you don't need to sleep with a man in order for you to get a song. You get what I'm saying? So I'm there. I'm going to say, come through to the show. Let's speak about it. You don't know who's listening, who's going to give you an opportunity. So it's a platform that is not selfish, a platform that is open to any, women in the hip hop space. Yeah. So to cut things short, I forgot the question even.
But you literally just answered it. Literally.
The movement, and so I took it to radio.
Yeah. All right. While we're still on that, sorry about that, my list. I just wanted to find out, since you started it, right, in 2021, I see that you've been helping other people. I understand you've been doing that, but how has it been for you, and for you in going into those spaces that you want to be in? So for StaticFlo, how has it been? Has it been better pre-21 or post-21? Like, what are you seeing? Like, not forgetting other people, but looking at it for you since you started it.
Okay, so I'm not going to complain. I refuse to complain. However, obviously I have I have a vision, right? So I know this is where I have to be, and I might not be there yet. Okay, I might not have tapped into that picture in mind that I have regarding women in hip hop. However, I'm so grateful, because you can imagine, I'm coming from Eastern Cape. I started this only a year in Eastern Cape. I had the municipality help me with events, and support me. Oh, I'm so grateful for that, because I had, them really backing me up. Then I took a risk. I came to Joburg with that vision. And I was literally just making the moves in Eastern Cape. One would say, why would you move? Why would you not, But immediately when I landed in Joburg, got 12 StaticFlo of women in hip hop. For me, that was enough. I've received a lot of support in terms of that. Even when I launched the podcast, I had a great support structure of the masterclass. Abu Rashid, that do Abu Back to the City, they said, you know what? We support you. This aligns with what we are doing. So to have those, big names or heavyweights tell you in 3 months of you reaching Joburg, and they're telling you that, let's help you. We see this. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not where I want to be currently, or I'm not there yet. However, I'm super grateful because it was a giant step. From Utati baby steps, for me, it was a giant step. So we getting there. We're getting there.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, because I actually wanted to ask you how people can get to watch the podcast, because I understand that you are on the Masterclass network at the moment. Is it correct?
Right. That is correct. So quickly to answer you there. So we are currently shooting. So obviously all the other episodes are under the Masterclass network, but obviously they literally wanted me to actually grow as well. So it's a matter of now I will be posting it on all social platforms. So we're currently just shooting episodes now, a collective of episodes that will be available under StaticFlo's YouTube channel. But it's one of those things whereby we're just polishing everything. We're doing it better. We're doing it bigger. And I will be posting everything on socials because you know, so I can't be comfortable in being under, you know. And it's nice to see that when you are working with people, they also understand and they also see the vision and they understand about, okay, sharp, we helped you, but you know, let's grow. So I think it was a good decision. But everyone can catch the previous episodes of the podcast under the Masterclass Network. Just to, you know, start it up. And then when we actually launch the other episodes, people can know where it came from and where it stemmed from.
Yeah. And then on radio, it is Hillbro. Is it Hillbro Radio or Hillbro FM? If I'm correct?
It's Hillbro Radio.
Hillbro Radio.
Hillbro Radio. So yes, it's online, yeah.
All right.
No, that's nice. And I feel like you just gave me the proper segue that I needed. When you say you've had people help to working with the heavyweights, you know, it brings me on to my next question. Like, how did you find yourself working with Reason? Like, how did that come about?
How did I find myself? Sorry?
Working with Reason.
Reason?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, you're taking it way back. All right, with Reason. Oh, okay. That was such a great experience. So, how it happened, right? At Gqeberha, we formerly known as Port Elizabeth, in Zotepai, Port Elizabeth, there was a festival that was happening in my community. So this festival was run obviously by the municipality. So we had to audition, right, for this festival that was going to happen. So I remember not wanting to go because I was like, festival, you know. But I remember people that I was working with at the time telling me, "I just go. It's an audition. You're auditioning to go to, like, to be part of the lineup of a festival, right?" So I remember I was the last person there on the day. They were about to pack up and leave, and then I rocked up with ticket number 100 and something. I did the audition. I performed, dragging my feet. However, I remember getting a standing ovation, you know. So I made it to the festival, and I performed, and I ended up performing with the band and whatnot. It was a lot of it was chaotic, man. But I ended up making it on the festival. So on the festival, there was Utumi from The Volume, which is Stogie T. So he was invited at the festival. Yeah, he was out there, you know, checking out the local talent. So StaticFlo was there performing, and he happened to really like my performance. So I actually sat down with him, we talked and whatnot. And I remember at the time, Reason was part of Motif Records at that particular time. So that's how the relationship formed. We exchanged numbers with Stogie T, we communicated. And I remember at the time there was talks about me moving to Joburg. That was like 2015, if I'm correct. You know, for me to come down to Joburg for the first time. They're going to do my, you know, record and assist me as best as they can. But obviously, life in it, there's there's hiccups here and there. But after that, the following year, Reason came to PE, to Port Elizabeth. So I'm saying this because it's a link. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I had to start it from there. So when Reason came, I was invited by the same festival organizer to open up for a Reason at the festival. It was a huge festival, One Blood Festival in Gqeberha. It happened annually. So I opened up for Reason. It was exciting, you know. It was great, you know. And then afterwards, there was a workshop. Then it was the actual event where I opened up for Reason. And then the following day, we were supposed to do a song. We had selected a beat to do a song. So it was part of, like, you know, the whole package that you're going to do a song with him. I remember getting into the studio, and I had the beat. So I've got my bars. I've written everything, you know. I'm there. I'm ready. And I remember this guy sitting there, you know. I'm like, yo, Reason. I grew up listening to Reason. Wada. And he's like, how about we switch up the song, you know? Let's change everything. I'm like, I've got this whole song on lock. And you're telling me to which? He's like, scratch everything. Let's forget about the bars. let's forget about what you have, we literally have an hour or two to make a song. Did I not write the song right there and there in the studio? A brand new song,
Wow.
brand new concept.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy, how can sabotage? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, Static, you got this. This person sees something in you, so he knows that you're capable. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna drop the ball. Who am I? So we ended up doing the song. I recorded the song, and we did a song called Mandela Bay. His concept that he shared was we're in Nelson Mandela Bay, which is, Egrebs. And then he's like, speak about your bay and speak about where you come from. So it was just one of those concepts. So we ended up doing the song. I did it right there in the studio, wrote the first two verses. He was on the hook. It ended up being a really dope song. So that's how everything happened.
When the stars align, they align.
Yeah, and that's actually an amazing story, and it also highlights because it highlights the genius the genius that Reason is. Because I think I shared this with you, Z, that on speakers Yeno's Han, Reason actually also contributed to that one, where he told them, I think he told them to add the bridge or whatever, and it's a beautiful song. It came out, it came out so beautifully. So that is Reason, that is Reason. What's his name? Alakai. Caesar Alakai. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name now.
Yeah, but that's the genius. That's the genius that Reason is. But also just to take it back a little bit, Nyana, as well. With your women in hip hop. Why do you feel that it is important for women to have a voice in hip hop?
Okay. So regarding that, I mean, we all know the hip hop genre is a male dominated, genre. I mean, I don't want to say much. I'm trying to avoid a few things. However, it's necessary. It's necessary. There was totally a gap, and I was like, you know what? It's necessary. I mean, you would find that in a stable, a record label, there's always, the first lady, that one lady. You get what I'm saying? And you'd find that in a crew, there's one lady. Why is that? What's happening? And you'd also find that these first ladies have so many, stories to tell, challenges. You get what I'm saying? As much as it's a male-dominated space, what I'm literally trying to say is that our voice is not heard much. You get what I'm saying? Because there's not many of us in the space. You get what I'm saying? So my point of having women in hip hop is to say that let's stand together, let's unite, and let's speak so that we can be heard. Because if one person does it, what chances that you're going to be heard? Hence, I'm mentioning the whole factor of in a stable, there will be only one lady that is signed. That person is barely heard. Barely can get their point across because obviously now fraction-wise, it's not a winning situation. But with women in hip hop, shame, it has to be a voice. We have to, I'm trying to say that we need to stand together, we need to speak, we need to overcome so many challenges. Because if we're not jonga around as well, women, they tap into the space, we get used to them, and all of a sudden, do you understand what I'm saying? So it's sad. It's sad. And as much as there's a movement called Women in Hip Hop, you'd also find that Nati, we are not supporting each other. We in competition with each other, which that also makes us weaklings, because now how is one supposed to speak? How is one supposed to be heard? Now y'all can't even handle yourself, Right. So women in hip hop, the movement it was just necessary for us to just point out all the challenges. And obviously we can't just point out challenges. We need to also have solutions in regards to all the challenges that we face. We go through a lot, to be honest. We're not putting each other on as well. I mean, you find that there's this one particular, female rapper, an essay, she's there. However, she's not even grooming the next. She's not even mentoring the next. We just not putting each other on. So you'd ask yourself why, So having women in hip hop movement, that is a safe space for us to ask those questions. Siphinde siziphendule, to find solutions and to just point out things that we have never, taken note of. You get what I'm saying? But Shem, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There will always be a need of support in regards to this type of movement. I can't do it alone, but it's enough for me to stand and say, this is what I've seen, this is what I've established, this is what I've picked up, help me to actually, deal with this.
Yeah.
Because it's safe to say that Aisha Suzoba extinct at the rate that we are going. Definitely.
I wanted to ask you, how is the support from all the other ladies in the industry?
Okay. So let me say this to you. I've had so many questions in regards to what I'm doing. I remember there was a lady whom I'm not going to mention that once asked me, Ayibo Static, why do you care about the others? Why not focus on you and your own blow up? Don't you think that you putting others on and helping others on is going to take the shine away from you, or rather the light away from you? So those are the things that we come across whereby you literally say, there is an issue, there is a problem. You get what I'm saying? But I won't lie. I'm not quite sure if I'm literally just a positive person, but I do have support. I do have people that, vouch for me, people that say, as much as we are doing this, but when aesthetic, how you do things, it's different. You a queen. Yeah. That's why I call myself the Queen of the East, because I've gotten that so many times where someone would say they're in the same space as me, they're doing what I'm doing, but you are a queen. As much as we are all rapping on the stage, but there's just something about you. I don't know how many bathroom talks as ladies, divalelwe toilet and yo, how do you do it?
You're a queen.
Yeah, how do you do it? We understand we're all doing this together, but there's just something about you, So obviously, bazoba khona abo nabo that would say, but I think on a 90% of them, they definitely have this response of, no matter what we do, what we say, but you are different. We don't know how you do it, but there's just something about you. So I would definitely say that support and the positive words are there, from the other female rappers in the space.
Nice. I love hearing that.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful thing to. It's beautiful to hear that. It's wonderful to hear all of that, and it actually now it takes us properly into your music. And so far you've released 2 projects. I want us to start with The Completion. Why use that title, and what was the purpose of the album?
Beautiful title, by the way.
All right. So The Completion, just to translate it in Xhosa, it's kugqitywe, right? Kugqitywe, there's no one, like kugqitywe, it's done.
Yeah.
So at a point in my life, at that particular time, I felt like, no one can tell me anything right now. Wherever I'm going and whatever I'm doing, I'm definitely sure about it. So kugqitywe, The Completion. Number 10,
Yeah.
So with The Completion, it was a matter of whatever works that I'd done before, because it's more like it's an LP. It's not an album. Okay. So it's a collection of all the works that I've done, literally from the very first track that I've recorded. So I just wanted everyone to know, Indokbana, I'm here to stay. And as much as I'm here to stay, this is where I come from. The Completion does tell a story. I mean, I come from a boom bap background. Yeah. I mean, it trap you get what I'm saying? I come from a boom bap background where it was like D, even the way I write and using metaphors, similes, everything. Like it just takes, if you listen to the completion, you'll know StaticFlo, Kalinjani,
Yes.
what like where she comes from, her inspiration and the form, or rather the style of how she writes and everything. So it's just one of those projects where it's how she started and where she's going.
Yes, okay.
So the completion, it was a matter of me just stamping and saying that I'm here. I get to go left or right. I know where I'm going and this is what I'm about.
I love that. Like, I wish everyone explained their albums or LPs the way you just did right now. Because I feel like it just summarizes so well. It will make the next person definitely want to go listen to understand who is StaticFlo, where she started, and where she's at right now, leading to the next project, Ipupa. Like, that's the one also that I'd like to touch on. Like, what is it about? What state of mind were you in when you made that body of work?
Ipupa now, it was like, okay, it's not about me being a hip hop head right now. It's not about me making music for rappers. It's not about me making music as a hip hop head. Now it's me being an artist, me being being whatever, being a sister, being an aunt, being a mother, being whatever. It was a journey. I'm not going to lie. When you avoid so much being okay, I'm not quite sure if this is going to sound right, but sometimes with artists need to be honest, right? But no one is putting it gun to your head to be, honest and whatever. But I've always ducked and dived back. Let me not say it like this. Let me put it like this, metaphorically, Let me sugarcoat this thing. But with Ipupa, the EP, yes, let me rap. With Ipupa, the EP, it was a matter of me just being honest with myself and me putting it out there, me being an artist. I actually sang on most of the songs where I've never really sung before. I worked with a really amazing producer and artist from Rustenburg, Ubenko, where he was like, you know what, do whatever, mommy. When a producer is not saying to you, giving you that thing, the space was beautiful. The space was honest. The space was innocent, where I was able to do whatever in the studio. Yes. So with Ipupa, it was a matter now of me saying, but okay, I'm in Joburg, and is there a Joburg because then Ipupa, right? So this is my journey. This is what I've been through. This is how I feel. The EP is really numb, because I was at a point whereby I'm like, okay, I'm here. What's next? What's next? Did I make the right decision now that I'm here? You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, I'm missing home. I'm missing my son. I'm literally, in a space of I'm floating. Because with Ipupa, I was just floating, to be honest. I wake up in the morning, fortunately for me, I have my own studio set up where I live at home. So, whatever I want to just, put on the mic, I would do that when I wake up in the morning, in the middle of the night. So hence it became what it is. It was organic. It wasn't forced. I wasn't doing it for the heads. I wasn't doing it for hip hop. I was doing it for me. And I was saying, naked. This is StaticFlo naked to the world.
Now, okay, so these two LPs or EPs, how far away are we from actually getting an album? Because that should be very interesting.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna put it out there. I am working literally on a project right now. Now, is it going to be an album or is it going to be an EP? At this point, I'm a bit, but definitely an album needs to come out, All right. So I think it's a matter of me now looking around and seeing, but okay, you don't just put out music anymore, because obviously now you need to reap, and you obviously, as a person, it's your body of work. You wanted to reach greater heights. So I think with the album that is delaying, I am working on a project though. I think for me, if I put an album out there, I need to make sure that I know how to distribute it. right? To have a
Yeah.
distribution deal, have PR, have a manager, and, go big or go home.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm at right now. Yes. So if StaticFlo can get perhaps maybe let's say a proper manager, distribution deal, PR, and whatever, the works,
Yeah.
then I can be comfortable and say, you know what, it's time. Because I
Let's roll it
feel
out.
that it's your body of work, blood, sweat, and tears. Now you need to just, take it up a notch and just go big or go home. Do things the right way. And yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now. So that's currently the challenge, where I'm literally trying to make sure that, okay, I know about this, I know about that. I'm actually literally a scholar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the entire idea because I said earlier, the business of music as well is very important. So if you do have that team with you, you're sure to make it a success. You're not just, taking shortcuts and doing things the easy way. You are trying to make sure that you roll out a good project.
Definitely.
So just to take it back also again, I like taking things back quite a bit. But you've performed at some pretty major events. What would you say has been your biggest highlight? And which event would you say has been your best so far?
Yeah, when it comes to that, it has to be back to the city.
Yeah.
One thing about hip hop heads.
No, it has to be. Yes, it has to be back to the city. I mean, back home, they're like, how do you do it? But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I
But
did
yeah,
it.
it has to be back to the city, to be honest.
Yeah. And last year, was last year your first performance at Back to the City? Or have you performed before?
Yes, so believe it or not, it was my first time at Back to the City, attending it, and my first time booked at Back to the City last year.
Oh, that's
You and
awesome.
Manelisi have that in common.
Yeah.
It was also his first time last year.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, and yeah, I'm just super excited about this year as well.
Yeah.
yeah. Like do you already have your time slots and everything? Do you know when you'll be performing, or is that still coming?
You know what? People can just search, on socials and whatnot. I'm not quite sure if I can, at this point in time.
Oh yeah.
But yes, but yeah, people must just come through though. People must come through. It's such an experience. It's a beautiful experience. If you're a hip hop head, that's the place for you. That's Mecca right there.
Yeah.
It's everything in one. Literally, it's everything in one space.
Yeah, and right now, Static, we are talking to someone who's been to every Back to the City event. Right when they started. I don't know how she was able to go there when she was still in high school or whatever. Were you in high school or primary school?
My parents took me, guys. I started going in grade 9, I think. Grade 9, yeah.
Grade 9, yeah.
So I've been, yeah.
That is amazing.
I'm turning 28 this year, so I've been.
Oh my word! So you've had your years with Back to the City.
No, literally. Like, it's what I'm saying. I'm one of the people who saw it grow. Like, when it was still under the bridge, and like 500 people, 100 people next. There was still a ritual store there by the corner. So it was actually outside ritual store under the bridge by the streets, literally. So to see it being held at the entire Memphis Show Square, I feel like for a lot of people who went back to the city from then, tickets were like 50 Rand back then. So I understand how long it's been. Like, yeah.
Oh, but that's amazing. That's amazing.
No, it is. That's one place I feel like, I outgrow places, I outgrow events, but I feel like for me, because hip hop has always been that thing in my life. So I feel like that's one event that will always be very dear to my heart. And I always look forward to And believe it or not, as much as people like going to the main stage and all of that, it's nice and all, but I generally just like being at, if I can call it, the other stages, because I feel like that's where people want to rap, and I miss hearing that sometimes. So you'll find me there at the back where the skaters are, where they're playing basketball. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to rap. You see how Big Zulu started from there and look at where he's at right now? That's where I want to be. I want to hear people rap from their heart. Exactly.
Last year, we were very excited leading up to Back to the City. And I think we're just excited this year again. And we're actually looking forward to meeting as many people as we possibly can over there. And one thing that I actually love about, I enjoyed rather last year, I experienced the love that people have for not just for the event. It's a true culture thing, being at Back to the City, where there's so much respect for one another. There's so much love for one another. There's no classism. There's no I'm a celebrity. You're just a regular person. Yes. Everyone is just everyone, and it's a beautiful atmosphere. It's a beautiful place to be in.
No, definitely, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah. So
and quickly for me, sorry about the names. While we're on the Back to the City and it happening this year, right? Besides Back to the City, what can you look forward to when it comes to StaticFlo this year until the end of the year?
Okay, so we literally have 3 months left. So I'm planning an event currently. It's a woman in hip hop event. So I try and do the events every year annually. So last year it was Women in Hip Hop. We had it at M Studios in Newtown, supported by the masterclass. That was also an amazing experience. So this year I'm bringing it back bigger and better. That is what I'm planning. Nice. So we definitely have to end the year with a Women in Hip Hop event, and obviously the project that I'm working on. And there's a lot of features that I will be doing with this project. Obviously now I'm in Joburg. I'm able to connect with different people on a personal level. So I think this body of work is going to be just amazing. So it's the project, it's the Women in Hip Hop event, and obviously now rolling out the podcast of Women in Hip Hop as well. And also just making sure that, people understand who StaticFlo is and understand her vision and understand the movement, and just connecting and networking. That is what you can expect from StaticFlo, literally.
Yeah.
Looking forward to everything, man.
Yeah. And then in the longer term, the next 5 years, Static, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, I just pictured myself in this, what you call this, Sabu boardroom vibes when you ask me that.
Yeah.
Just, having this speech of where I come from type of thing, and having all these women, working with me. So I think in the coming years, look, it's all about the movement. I'm going to be honest. The movement needs to, grow, be bigger and be visible, and I literally see myself having a lot of the women in arts with me, just going out there and making sure that we are heard. But definitely, in terms of business, I forgot to mention one thing. I literally just launched my own beverage, which is a gin called Static Rush 23.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So, yes.
Please don't forget it next time in an interview. That's very important. We are here for you getting your bag. You need to get your bag, man.
The network situation also is throwing me off with a few things. However, but in terms of business, in the next couple of years, definitely StaticFlo as a businesswoman, growing that as well. We have the gin out, Static Rush 23. It's a London dry gin. And so I'm just literally making sure that from now moving forward, that stands and people recognize and are able to know who go to StaticFlo is also a businesswoman and she's doing this. So in the next couple of years, I just want to be a successful woman in arts, woman in hip hop, And everything that I've started, I want to finish it and I want it to be successful. Because I'm mentioning a lot of things. I'm here and there. So my aim is that everything that I touch, I must literally finish it. I must just finish the race. It must just turn into gold. And the world just must know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely will.
Thank you.
and when can people actually get the gin? Yeah.
Yes.
Because you forgot to tell us where people can get the gin.
So currently, all right. So with the gin, currently you DM me. My email's aprilstatic@gmail.com. And also on my socials, just DM me and then I deliver the gin. And yeah. Okay. And also one thing I just need to mention quickly. So this is what I'm doing. So every place where I'm booked, the gin is also there.
Okay.
Love your as it should be.
So wherever StaticFlo is booked, we ensure as it should be. So we're going to find Static Rush 23.
All right, so people can expect to see it at Back to the City this year.
So that's what I'm drinking at Back to the City. I love it.
We're working towards that.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
But yeah, wherever I'm at, I ensure that, you know what, the Static Rush must be there. So if I'm booked at a particular place on social, you see a flyer, you see whatever, just know that Static Rush is there.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I don't have anything else to say, especially after that 5-year speech part. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't have anything else to say. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Actually, I have a problem with putting people on the spot, right? And my Lucy has said this about me. I do it all the time. When it comes to, okay, I'm going to make it a bit easier because normally I say to people what's your favorite song on that album, on that EP, right? But for now, I'll just give you two. I See the Light or Fly With Me. What's your top one?
Okay, so wait, you asking me right now my top one between The Light and Fly With Me?
The top of your head, your favorite between the two.
This is crazy. Oh, P dot, Betuna, P dot is there. You don't know.
There's a reason why I asked that one.
Okay, let me take a deep breath. By the way, the music video is really dope. People should check it out. I See the Light. Okay, let me answer. Fly With Me.
I don't even ask why. I do this all the time. I like putting artists under pressure with their own songs. Give me your favorite. I just like saying it because I feel like I get to see the excitement behind the music when they make the music, and you see how excited they were when they're making it. So they struggle with it. Okay, I'm with you on that one. I love P dot, but I'm really with you on that one. Fly With Me also, it took it for me.
For you, Fly With Me as well. Awesome.
Literally. It sounds like, and my listener knows how much I love P dot, but right now I'm like, yeah, that song is nice, but guys, Fly With Me.
Thank you so much.
Static, that's pretty much it from us. Do you have anything that you would love to say, would love to share with us?
All right. First of all, thank you so much for the platform. This has been just amazing. Thank you very much. But in terms of StaticFlo and her as a brand, all I'm just going to say, real recognizes real, and let's just support each other, support your sister, support the next person. You know, whether it be supporting me in me being as a rapper, as a businesswoman, being on radio, being a media personality and whatnot. I just feel like you never know the difference that you make. Just continue supporting artists, continue supporting, you know. But in any case, if you want to link up with me on socials, it's at StaticFlo. And then my email is aprilstatic@gmail.com. And the gin is out, Static Rush 23, on Hillborough Radio every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually,
so, yeah.
One more question. Why Static Rush 23?
All right. So Static, I think I've already explained. Obviously, it's Static, my music part, and then Rush. It's the rush that the gin like literally gives you. And then 23, it was launched and established in 2023.
Oh, okay.
You know, so in any case, if you literally listen to my music, you will feel the Static Rush.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Static, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence, man. We really do appreciate you being here. We're looking forward to officially meeting you in person at Back to the City. But yeah, that from us, the Oracles, that is it. We will be back again next week. Have a wonderful one. Until then, cheers.
Bye.